Previously on Hunting with
Thomas
Tripler.
Train set. Like I mentioned, this guy said that it was working.
Close to 100. It's Comic-Con exclusive.
Sega Genesis, and you can see this is model
Cobra Commander. Pretty sweet little item.
And this is the Suzuki Q-Cord.
I collect so many things. Would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join the chase. Yeah!
What's happening, folks? Tripler here. My name's Nick. I'm an online reseller, and I utilize platforms like eBay and Amazon, local markets utilizing OfferUp, and I'll source from places like estate sales, garage sales, thrift stores, you name it. I'm always looking for a way that I can resell an item, whether it's new or used, for profit. Folks, what would be really helpful is if you hit that subscribe button. For me, I'm trying to grow my channel, trying to educate more people and have those people educate me, and hitting that subscribe button would mean the world to me. Today's episode is going to focus on a thrift store find, and there are over 20 items that I picked up at this store. In Southern California, the reseller market is really flooded with all sorts of resellers that are focusing on clothing and on shoes, electronics, video games, you name it. And to be successful in today's market, I think it's really critical that you're able to expand your reselling capabilities into categories that maybe sometimes you don't know everything, but that are easy to look for and easy to resell. Things like sporting goods, electronics, video games. I love toys, especially toys that I might have been accustomed to playing with, whether it was growing up in the 80s or the 90s, but there are a lot of things that I look for. So today I'm going to focus on 20 plus items that I got at a thrift store. Each item I'm going to give you just the slightest backdrop of why I got it, where I was, and what's the reason that I picked it up, and I'll try to give you at least a breakdown of profit margin. Hey Chase, these shirts are awesome and they fit really nice. Thank you for that. All right, in no particular order. So there's a bit of nostalgia when I pick up something like this. Cabbage Patch Kids is most certainly from my childhood. This is Thermos brand. And this particular item is, or should be, at least something you recognize if you are a product of the 80s. And what caught my eye with this wasn't necessarily that it was just the lunchbox. It's that all of the accessories actually came with it. So it did come with the soup thermos, and it did come with, well, I'm not actually sure. This might be the soup thermos, and this might just be an add-on. But either way, it's still Thermos brand. It does appear to be complete, and in complete condition, these are going for over $25. The next collectible item is a couple sets of Pokemon cards. These were literally thrown into plastic bags. Each one was listed for $1.99. So now, here's an example of where the price tag was worth the chance. Of course, they won't let me open the bag in the store. I feel that the resale market for Pokemon cards is valuable enough that even if I was to just sell them for $15 as is, I'll get my money back. But there's the possibility of a rare card inside of here, and it's worth downloading some of the apps. There's price guide apps, whether you use an Android or an Apple phone, that will allow you to literally take a picture of the card right on the face, and it will populate a price tag for you. So this is something that I would call taking a chance on, and it's a category that I would definitely recommend you looking a little bit further into. Take a chance on it, especially if it's only $2 or $3. Now at this thrift store, there's an area towards the back of the store where they have all of their board games and all of their puzzles kind of located in one spot. Board games that are pre-80s, there tends to be a relatively collectible market that unfolds there. I don't play Yahtzee. I just know that the box looked old. I was able to look it up. There is also a year that's marked on here. Well, my price tag on this was $3. And for $3 to see what the comps are going for, which I believe they're plus 30, this is less than £2. So at that, the most I'll pay for shipping is going to be 10. And if I do it by cubic weight using Pirate Ship, then there's a chance that this could be a little bit less. I recommend that if you've got a thrift store that has a section for board games, don't pass that up. Take an opportunity to look. And if there are, it's worth scanning them or at least looking them up, because a lot of times they're only a few dollars. Sometimes you have to take a little bit of time to actually count all the pieces, especially if the particular item that you're looking up is plus $30 or $40, then take a few minutes and count all the pieces to see if they're there. And if they are, then you've got a nice score, especially for $3. This one was complete. Staying in the collectibles genre. So I haven't opened this one yet, and I paid a little bit more than maybe I should have. There were a couple things that drew my attention to it. Voltron is definitely a very collectible and desirable toy. And I wasn't sure if all of the items that were in here were Voltron, a Transformer, so this clearly is not Voltron. Actually kind of looks like Bumblebee dressed as a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I suppose that's a bit unique there. Now this one's just very interesting. I'm not seeing yet any kind of call out for whether it is Mattel, Hasbro, Playmates. I'm not seeing anything. Does anyone know what this is? Because I have no idea. I actually thought this was a part of the Voltron set. I have no idea. Maybe highly desirable. Maybe one where taking that chance and that risk was not worth it. But in any case, it's unique. It does appear that it has 2 slots here for shooting projectile missiles. It's unique. But for $8, this might have been a poor buy. And here is the Voltron. This is the Black Lion. This does appear to be a little weathered, but I'll let you guys take a look at that. It's a nice item. The plastic has definitely worn, and some of the paint could use a little help. This is from 2017, and it's Playmates. Between the 3 items here, I can't imagine that I would get much more than $15. So there's not really much profit here. I suppose what I had believed was going on here is that these 2 items were connected in some way. I think Savers does a really good job of bundling not very interesting toys in with something like this that might be desirable, and in the end you're stuck with maybe just the one item and you paid up a little bit. So good for Savers for getting me on that one, but who knows, maybe I did make a little money on this. But in any case, that was a collectibles find. Thomas the Train. Please, friends, do not pass up a $6 line item for Thomas the Train toys. If it's the die-cast or the wood, I can't tell you which one is more desirable because I sell each, and I've sold many of each. Depending upon what train you have and the condition of those trains, they'll sell relatively quick, especially if you have the right price tag. So at $6, I have this guy here. This one is Ben Sodor Museum Express. This is a museum car. Pretty cool. Of course, we have Thomas leading the way. Pretty sweet. I don't know what this is, but this is loaded with coal. It's a freight cart. So whatever that is. And then the Sodor. I hope I'm saying that right. Some of you might be going, man, you have not watched any Thomas the Train. That is true, I have not. This is the Rock Quarry Run. So Thomas the Train, in this instance, I would probably price all of these items at $19.95 and hope for a quick sale. For something like that, when you look at the cost of shipping, which would be under £1, I anticipate, let's just call it $4 on average. Cost of goods was $6, and with a $2 fee on top of that, my all-in cost would be $12 with an $8 return. And for something as small and easy to ship like that, that's certainly worth it. This is Super Mario Galaxy, the collector's edition. This is a book that goes through the gamut of the first game. It's relatively collectible. This is and was only $3.49. I believe this resells online for $15. But the biggest benefit to a book like this is that it's over £1, but you can send this media mail, which means that at the lowest it would be $2.75. I think at the most it might be $3.49. It's important that if you have a thrift store that has a large book selection, I would recommend at least going in and scanning items. Books are a great place to spend a little time. And the reason I say that is because oftentimes resellers pass up on books because they just don't know enough about it. You don't necessarily need to know anything about it. In general, scanning and understanding the condition of a book is as valuable as somebody who might have a vast knowledge of many, many different authors out there. You'll start to find ones that are more desirable. This is another Zelda strategy guide. This is Phantom Hourglass. Looks like the Premier Edition. This one has a bit of wear to it, so I think some pages in the back started to come loose. Of course, I'll mention that in my listing, but I think there's still a desire for anything Zelda related. And here is the big book of Zelda. Again, I was in the book section and really no one was there. The book section is in the media section where all the video games were. Came around the corner and finally I looked over at the book section, seeing something I hadn't seen in quite a while, which was a video game strategy guide. I'm not actually sure if this is a strategy guide or just a recap of all of the Zelda games. It's relatively new because it has Breath of the Wild for the Switch on the cover. A lot of really good stuff. Why would I grab this game? I'll tell you why. Because when I'm in the video game section, I open every single disc. I don't do it at the same thrift store every single day, but at least twice a month, I will go through and open every disc. And I'll explain why. These were two that I opened. These are terrible games all on their own, but for no good reason, someone decided they wanted to put Wii Sports in there. And it's in pretty good condition. So that's definitely worth the $3.99 price tag on. And then for this one, unfortunately, Club Penguin isn't worth a whole lot. It's complete. It's actually in pretty good shape. And it is in here. But they also included something a little special. At the top, that would be Metroid Fusion. And that's Game Boy Advance. And that sells for just about $20. So here's where I'm starting to see a nice return on the games. So an investment of $8 between these two games, I'm expecting to get about $35. And the profit margin here is going to be plus 15, maybe around $20. So definitely worth opening up all of the discs, seeing what's there. You never know what you're going to get. All right, I haven't looked this one up yet. This one to me seems like it's going to be worth some money. It's Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. And I believe, based on the fact that it has the card, it has the manual, and it has what appears to be maybe the game download. I don't know. But the game itself is actually in excellent condition. This game perhaps is plus $15 or $20. Shipping this item right here is going to be about $3 to $4. But in the end, it's important that you know what your margins are and where do you want to be and what is the work you're willing to put in to get a particular expected return. For $5.99, we got this sweet GameCube Wavebird controller. Unfortunately, the receiver was not there. It was just the controller. But for $6, this is still worth it because I believe this sells for over 15 or 16 bucks, maybe a little bit more. It's in really good condition, so I actually believe that when these are in good condition, sale price is worth a little bit more. So definitely worth the pickup there. We have 3 PlayStation 3 controllers. We have just the standard black one. We have the red. This is actually pretty nice. All of these were $6, by the way. And we also have the NBA 2K3. No, 13. And that was $8. Yeah, someone probably just put the skin on here, and I just paid $8 for a PS3 controller. Maybe not bad. I usually only like paying $5 or $6 for any kind of controller, but I can always use PS3 controllers. I have a lot of PS3 systems. So anyway, those 3 were definitely good buys. These will probably get bundled, and if for some reason I have too many to bundle, then these are still selling for over 20 bucks a piece. So that's still a good return. $3. $3 for this guy. So this is 2010 Lucasfilm A8663. This is going for over $30, and in its current condition, which is really, really nice, I'm gonna have absolutely no problem getting that most Star Wars type collectible items like this, especially if they haven't been just completely thrashed, it's actually really sweet. Check this out. So cool. $3. Totally. All right, I'm going to quickly go through some of the electronic finds that I had. I've got the Sennheiser HDR 100s. These are wireless headphones, and these, keep an eye out. These were selling for $8, and these are selling online for over 25. So absolutely worth it. Found these HyperX ones that I couldn't find the model number, but I did find a picture of this. This again was selling for $8, and this goes for over 25. Sometimes you can feel the headphone and just know the quality versus something that's plastic and really cheap. It was worth checking, and this is gonna be a nice return. I do this all the time. For $6, I believe you can see that, for $6, I got this Lenovo AC adapter. This is gonna be for a laptop. And these are just always worth picking up. At some point in time, someone's either going to destroy their AC adapter, lose their AC adapter, and they aren't willing to buy a fake one. And so for those who are out there buying genuine Dell, Lenovo, Samsung, these kinds of adapters, it's worth having it in your store because over time, someone's gonna come across it, and if you're priced accordingly, it's gonna be gone. So I scanned this, and this is a Samsung charger, and Samsung usually has these proprietary tips, and that's the only reason I scanned this. When I looked it up, it was selling for over $15, and the price tag on this was only $4. So when you see Samsung, again, when you see any kind of AC adapter out there, do yourself a favor. If it's just the standard plug, then there's nothing unique about it. But when it's got something unique and proprietary on the tip, well, that makes it a little bit more desirable. In which case, I recommend scanning, looking it up. This is one of those where it was worth looking it up. This Nikon battery adapter I bought for $3 corresponds, I believe, to this pretty sweet Nikon camera that I picked up for $15. It's the Coolpix AW100. I believe this sells for between $50 and $75, depending upon condition. And for having both of these combined for under $20, that is a fantastic return. And I got very lucky. So they were bringing out these carts at various times. And this particular cart, I could only see a CD player at the very top, which meant to me that they were going to be bringing out electronics. Well, before she got a chance to put anything on hooks, I realized as I was looking in her bin, I don't typically like to do that. I like to let them put it up there, and I don't hover around. But when I saw the CD player, I just grabbed it because it seemed like it was worth some money. I ended up putting it back. But in that exchange, she said to me, hey, I'm going to go over to the books here real quick. Do you want to just take a look at what's in here? And I was like, sure. Yes, I do. And as a result, I got all of this. I got a JVC camcorder. This is the Averio, the hybrid Averio. This is a pretty nice JVC camcorder. I think this retails for about $35, maybe $45. I also got this pretty sweet Canon camera. This is the Canon FS100A. It's so compact, it's small. I'm actually considering using this in one of my videos to see what the quality looks like. But for gosh sakes, this was sitting there for $13. For 13 bucks, this sweet lens, and this lens here, by the way, this lens here is the Takamar 35 millimeter. I believe this sells for over $50. This is the Pentax DA. This is the 50 to 200 millimeter. And I believe this also sells for $50 or $60. And those, along with this, goes with this, a Canon AE1. And they had a $20 price tag on this. It has a genuine Canon lens on the top. And I mean, she let me just look through the entire stack. And I was thinking to myself, really? You don't care? Finally, the last few items, these are sporting good related items, golf clubs. And I'm gonna try to go through this relatively quick. This is a TaylorMade burner, and this is a 10.5. It's in beautiful condition, really well taken care of. This was $5, 3 Nike SQ drivers. So here are the 3 clubs that I got there from Nike. These total were $15, and I spent $20 on golf clubs, where I believe I've got at least $150 to $200 worth of golf clubs right here. I spent $43 on this one so I could get my 20%, and then spent another $174. That means I spent $210 on items in here that perhaps my expected return is going to be over $500 or $600, maybe more. If you aren't getting into categories that you don't know a whole lot about, then you might be missing on some really big money. So I recommend getting out of your comfort zone as a reseller, trying to find things that maybe are not familiar to you, but might be easy to sell. I put up a video a few weeks that selling golf clubs are really not that difficult. You take a picture of the head, you try to show the shaft, yes, and check the condition of the grip, and then you put it into a very simple box, wrap the head, tape it, ship it, and usually they ship for well under 2 pounds. It should be under $10. I hope you liked today's finds. It was really incredible what I got. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Really don't know what else to say. I had a great time. I'm really excited, but if you like this video, I'll try to make more. Obviously, I love doing finds videos, being out there in the wild and bringing you guys along with me. But in any case, thanks for coming by. Thanks for being with me, and I'll see you next time.